guys, and welcome back to the channel, and thanks for coming back for my journey. As you guys know, this week in the United States is National EMS Week, and I thank each and every one of you for your support in the videos that I've been putting out. Each day of EMS Week has a certain theme associated with it, and Tuesday's theme is safety. One of the first things you learn when you're going through your certification for any level is scene safety. And practically all of the skill sheets that you go through when you're learning these things, one of the first things is the scene safe? If the scene is not safe, then what do? You have to decide. And a lot of times it's situational. But majority of the time it results in staging until either police or fire have secured the scene. I mean, I'm an EMS. I'm not running into a burning building. If there's a shootout, I'm not going in at that immediate time. Now, there are some situations where you do, and that's a whole nother level. But 9 times out of 10, or 9.5 times out of 10, you wait until the scene is secured. It doesn't do any good to go into a scene that is not secure, especially as EMS, if there's a good chance of A, getting injured myself, or B, getting shot myself, and now we just created another person for EMS to have to come in and rescue. With that thought in mind, one of the easiest things you can do as an added step once you approach a scene is knowing simply where to stand when approaching a house. It's little things like this that are details that really aren't taught. But so I have a little video here that talks about just this little tiny bit of action that you can take to increase your odds of safety, not only in EMS, but in your general life. I do use it typically when I approach a door, anywhere. Links to the original video will be in the description below. Let's check it out. All right, here we go. Brought to you by Blower.
While knocking at the door of a residence, you're already aware to stand at the side of the door. Armed with information of why you stand at the side of the door could potentially save your life. Yep. I'm Kip T-Sort, and welcome to Escaping Violent Encounters.
Before we get any further into this, this isn't actually a great playlist. It looked like, I haven't looked through it. It's a reaction channel. However, this in that playlist is tactics number 12. The only reason I didn't start at 1 is because I think 1 through 10 are like physical altercation type things. It's like how to use wrist holds and stuff. Yeah, well, that's not something for this channel to endorse or promote necessarily. This is not about that type of stuff. This is about about safety. All right, so I just wanted to make sure if you're wondering why I started with 12.
So EMS movies back in the 70s showed providers standing off to the side of a door. Ever since you've been doing this job, you've watched police officers and even peers stand beside a door when you knock at a residence. However, you need to realize that the reason we're standing at the door jamb, at the sides of the door, is for the cover and the concealment. However, if you stand at the side with the doorknob, when the person opens the door of the residence, when you've knocked and identified yourself, when they open the door, they're opening that door inward, and you can actually begin to see into the residence before they can even see you. So it's a safety tactic. It's not a technique. Standing at the side of the door, specifically at the side with the doorknob, makes it more difficult for the person inside of a residence to see you before you can see them. It's just a habit to get into, to stop, pause, knock, identify yourself from the side of the door with the doorknob. So standing at the side of the door with a doorknob gives you the protection now due to the construction of the home. There's many things that you have to think about, like even though I'm standing at the side of the door with a doorknob, is there a window right there because it's a motel room, whatever it may be. But when we're talking about a residence, understand that when a person opens a door, usually think about the way you open a door. If the door handle when you faced it was on your right-hand side.
I want to go back and look at this picture real quick, because typically when I do it as the EMT on the crowd, if I am the one knocking on the door, I do exactly what he is saying. If I if my partner is the one knocking on the door, I'm actually standing on the opposite side on that door jamb on the hinge side. Reason being, it's similar in my opinion to if you're clearing a room tactically and you're pieing the room. That door, when it's open, he can see straight ahead and I can see in the opposite direction of what's going on. Also, it I'm blocked from the door a little bit. That's just my mentality. You get a wider picture if there's two of you and you're standing on opposite doors. Just that's just mine. But I do agree. If you're not the primary knocking on the door, it's best to stand where he is talking about.
Way you open a door. If the door handle when you faced it was on your right hand side, you don't grab it with your right hand because that pulls the door into you. You would reach out and grab it with your left and swing the door past you. This is again that thing that allows you to see a person, see behavior, and see if those little bells and whistles are going to start going off in your head that this is not a safe position. So choosing to stand at the side of the door with the doorknob is going to give you the best protection. It's going to give you a moment in time should something change. Here's the kicker. You can't just do it only on the known hot calls. You need to do it on all
every
calls
time,
so that if it happens and something bad happens, you're already in place to buy yourself that moment in time. Because escaping a violent encounter on the job in emergency medicine is just that. We're not trying to control or destroy or to win a fight. We are trying to escape. And standing off to the side of the door with the doorknob is simply one tactic that can help you escape that potentially violent encounter.
Absolutely
I'm Kip
correct.
Tsort, and remember, your safety comes first.
It's just a great little tidbit of information that just no one really ever thinks about. Simple. What side of a door do you stand on? All right. We don't need to listen to the music, but let's talk. So yeah, it's just one of those simple little things that a lot of people really don't think about when they're approaching a door. It's that extra safety measure. Me personally, when I go in my partner, since my partner is the paramedic, he is typically doing the first line of assessment of what's going on. I mean, there may be times where he passes it down or degrades it to a BLS call, and then it becomes mine at some point. Or sometimes, depending on the call, we just know it's BLS right ahead of time, and it just comes mine. But most of the time, the paramedic is going in there and assessing the situation. In those situations, and the majority of the time, it is my responsibility of what I feel that I should be making sure that the safety of the scene is good and is right. If something changes, I want to know immediately, and I can inform him, and we can get the hell out of there or do something. Now, my partner now is a pretty big dude, so most people don't try to mess with him, but it doesn't really matter. And there have been plenty of times where we've come on scene and we walk up to the room and I immediately notice the firearms over to the side or the knife's over to the side or something like that. I'm not ever afraid of that because in our area it's quite common, but it's something to keep aware of because those can change a scene immediately. And you just have to know how to react and know what to do. So like I said, first situational awareness and scene safety. Two of the most important things about going on to any scene, because as a provider, you are useless if you are now injured and if you become a patient. That is no good. So yeah, keep an eye out for things and keep yourself safe out there. All this EMS week, I'm not going through with my normal spiel at the end. I'll just say, if you enjoy these videos, like, subscribe, hop on over to Discord, ask me some questions. I'm a pretty open person. I can't talk specifics, obviously, about cases, but yeah, go ahead, ask me some questions if there's anything you're interested. If you're interested in getting into it, let me know. There's all kinds of opportunities out there for people, and I'm open to questions. Ask them ask them in the comments, and depending on the situation, I may actually answer it in the comments, or I'll direct you to a more private setting. But yeah, I hope some of these things are instructional and educational, and you get some usefulness out of them. It's my way of celebrating EMS week this way. And thank you to everyone, all first responders, out there who we go to battle with every single day. All right. With that said, I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll catch you all next time.